Senator Rubio.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, Attorney General. I want to go back to February 14th and kind of close the loop on the details. Director Comey was here, provided great detail about that day. So what I've heard so far is there was a meeting in the Oval Office on the 14th. You recall being there along with him. At some point, the meeting concluded. The President, everyone got up to leave. The President asked Director Comey to stay behind, correct?
Well, that's a communication in the White House that I would not comment on.
All right,
I do indicate.
You remember seeing him stay behind?
Yes.
Okay. And his testimony was that you lingered. And his view of it was you lingered because you knew that you needed to stay. That was his characterization. Do you remember lingering? Do you remember feeling like you needed to stay?
I do recall being one of the last ones to leave.
Did you
Yes.
decide to be one of the last ones to leave?
I don't know how that occurred. We had finished I think a counterterrorism briefing there. A number of people were there and people were filtering out. I eventually left, and I do recall that I think I was the last or one of the last 2 or 3 to leave.
Would it be fair to say that you felt like perhaps you needed to stay because it involved the FBI director?
Well, I don't know how I would characterize that, Senator Rubio. I left. It didn't seem to me to be a major problem. I knew that Director Comey, long-time experience in the Department of Justice, could handle himself well.
So you saw him after that. He characterized it as he went up to you and said, you know, never leave me alone with the President again. It's not appropriate. And he said, this is his characterization, you just kind of shrugged like as if to say, what am I supposed to do about it?
Well, I think I described it more completely, correctly. He raised that issue with me, I believe, the next day. I think that was correct. And he expressed concern to me about that private conversation. And I agreed with him essentially that there are rules on private conversations with the President, but there's not a prohibition on a private discussion with the President, as I believe he's acknowledged 6 or more himself with President Obama and President Trump. So I didn't feel like that's the first, and he gave me no detail about what it was that he was concerned about.
So
so I didn't say I wouldn't be able to respond if he called me. He certainly knew that with regard that he could call his direct supervisor, which in the Department of Justice, the direct supervisor to the FBI is the Deputy Attorney General. He could have complained to the deputy or to me at any time if he felt pressured, but I had no doubt that he would not yield to any pressure.
Do you know if the President records conversations in the Oval Office or anywhere in the White House?
I do not.
Let me ask